Hello members, welcome to the video of Black Horse Excellence. Today we have released the updated version of Schedule 3 automation tool. In this video we will see what all are the new features that we have added. So this is the long list of new features that we have added in the version 1.1.1. So we will discuss all of this one by one in this video. So watch this video till last to understand all this in detail. So now let us come to the Schedule 3 automation tool. In this, in master sheet, there is one first feature that we have added is PDF export. So when you click on this button PDF export, your financials PDF will get generated and it will get automatically saved in the folder where this file is saved. Let me show you to you what files will be generated. So it will generate these three files. First one is the balance sheet. This is the single page balance sheet. This is the single page P&L will generate it, and third one is the entire set of financial will get generated in normal PDF. The second new feature that we have added is in the FAR. So what happens, many a times client requires FAR asset wise depreciation, opening balance of WDV, closing balance of WDV. So this previously you were not able to copy paste in normal Excel. So now we have given option over here, Excel export. So what is the what we need to do in this? So here if you see there is a drop down list is given year 1 to 12. So here which year you want to export. Let's say you want to export 2023 and 24. So it is lying in year 3. So you will have to select year 3 over here and then just click on this button Excel export. So it will export this entire FAR in normal Excel and it will get saved automatically in the folder where this file is lying. So it will so this is the file for that which is being generated, FAR export, and after that name of the company come. So format of that FAR exported file will be similar to the FAR, but at last if you see over here, opening accumulated depreciation balance will come, depreciation for the period will come, and closing accumulated depreciation for that period will come, and after that at last will be net closing WDV. So this will be very useful when you want to share asset wise WDV and depreciation to your clients. So this is the one thing which is coming in the FAR. Another thing which is there in the FAR is FAR delete blank line. So in case you have a blank line in between the trial and FAR, so that you can previously you were not able to delete those rows. So now with this one click, delete FAR blank line, you can delete those line items. Now let us come to the trial balance. What is the new thing which is there in the trial balance? So in the trial balance, previously we were able to add the phase grouping. So phase grouping, if you want to add that, you can add through the master sheet. User defined grouping is there, but node grouping you were not able to add. At present also that thing can be only added at the subnode level, but we have increased certain node groupings. For example, under the other current liability, we have added this statutory due node grouping. This is the salary and wages that we have added, advances from customer. So this all are the new node grouping that we have added under this respective category. So this will be useful for that purpose. Another new feature which is there in the TB sheet, that is the lock unlock period. So let's say you have finalized your financial for previous year and now you want to lock that thing. So with this button lock unlock, you can lock that thing. So for current year as well as for the previous year, there is a lock unlock period button has been given. In case you want to lock this, so click on this button lock previous year. Now your previous year will become uneditable. If you add, it will not allow you to add. Let's say you want to add at some point of time, so you can unlock that and then you can edit this thing. So this is how you can lock and unlock the period. Another feature in TB sheet is reset validation. Reset validation tab is given in the rightmost. What happens when user is doing a grouping? Generally by mistake what happens when we copy paste, let's say I want to specify one of the subnode grouping over here. So maybe I'll just copy paste this over here. Now what happens, this removes validation. Technically when you simple copy paste, this removes the validation. So if I now delete this, so on top of this one grouping pending, it shows that, but it doesn't come red. So to reset validation, to reset to the original, you need to click on this button reset validation. So when you click on this button reset validation, it will automatically reset the all conditions. all cell colors will automatically come accordingly. So one more new feature that we have added in trial balance is, in the previous version, if you have a tally data with more than 10,000 line item, it was not possible to import those ledgers because there is a limitation of 10,000 ledgers in TB sheet. At present also you can maximum import 10,000 ledgers, but now from this year version onwards, when you import data from tally, it will automatically identify groups where there are more than 2000 ledgers, and it will not import ledgers for those 2000 for those group. It will only import group summaries for those ledgers. So ledger wise, so let's say in case I have one of the tally data where there are 15,000 ledgers, and out of that 14,000 ledgers are under the sundry debtors. So from this version onwards, so when you import data from tally, those 14,000 ledgers will not get imported, but only group total for that sundry debtor will come, so that you will be able to use that thing. This will even optimize the file size of this and processing of the data, notes and annexure generation as well. Now let us come to the next feature that we have added, that is the text sheet. So this is most important part for all the companies, and this will be a very useful in all the cases. So in this tax sheet you will be able to do the computation of income tax. So the tax as per the income tax will get calculated over here, head wise income tax calculation. It will even calculate interest under section 234 A, B, C. Even in case you want to calculate MAT liability, MAT tax under section 115 GB, that will also get calculated over here. Depreciation as per the income tax has also been added in this. You will be able to calculate block wise depreciation over here, even in case there is an additional depreciation also, so that will also be calculated over here. Then deferred tax calculation, deferred tax will also be calculated in this sheet itself. So this will be a very important sheet from making a provision for income tax as well as deferred tax provisioning. So this is even a dashboard also available from computation of tax perspective. Now let us come to the balance sheet. So there is a ratio sheet that we have added over here. You can see in the right, ratio year on year comparison, also in terms of percentage you can see, and ratio as a percentage total of equity, liability and asset also you can have it over here. Another thing that we have added over here is till previous version there was a issue in case there is a bigger names of the signatories that were not coming in full. So now you can adjust that thing. You can increase the row height of this particular signatures, and that will fit into this entire in signatory area. Same is the thing in the P&L also. In P&L also we have year on year percentage change available. So in terms of percentage you can analyze what is the increase decrease in revenue, expenses, net profit, profitability ratio. Then below that there is a this signatory part, you can adjust row height, you can adjust now, so that your signature name comes in full. In CFS sheet also we have added few categories. There was one of the requirement that long-term loans, advances, other non-current asset, long-term provision, this were not available previously. Now we have added this in this version. And at last signature part, that can also be adjusted. This feature is available in this CFS sheet as well. So let us come to the QDIS. We have added many disclosure over here, and let us discuss one by one each of them. Under the share capital, we have increased class of share up to 10. Previously it was up to 5. Now we have increased up to 10. Another thing that we have added is under the long term borrowing, few tables are added, and this terms of repayment, this has been increased to 50 line items. So you can add up to 50 line items. Below that there is a utilization of borrowing table has been added. Default and payment of borrowing table has been added over here. So this is there in the long term borrowing. Under the short term borrowing, the terms of repayment line item has been increased to 20. Under the liability notes, we have added the aging schedule for long term trade payable. Aging schedule was already available for a current trade payable. For long term trade payable, we have added the aging schedule over here. Even under the aging schedule, there was this two line items that we have added for unbilled. Undue was already available, this two line item for unbilled category that we have added over here. Under the assets notes, we have added long term trade receivable aging schedule. Again, aging schedule was already available for current trade receivable. For long term trade receivable, it was not available, which we have added from this version onwards. Under the AS 15 disclosure, we have now added leave encashment also. Previously, gratuity thing was already available. Now there is a similar leave encashment disclosure has been added, which you can disclose. You can choose from here whether you want to disclose only gratuity, only leave encashment, or you want to disclose both, or if you don't want to disclose both of them, then you can select option none from here. So these are the tables for that. Under the forex disclosure, there is one disclosure that we have added, unhedged foreign currency transaction. So unhedged foreign currency exposure related disclosure was required, so that also we have added from this version onwards. Under the related party disclosure, there was one issue. If the name of the related party or relationship is a big, then it was not coming full in the A disk. So here if you see, this is not coming full. So we have now added an option, single column presentation. If you select the single column option over here, and then if you click on this button, add to a disk, then under the A disk, the disclosure for related party transaction will present to you somewhat like this. In this presentation, if you have a bigger names, then your presentation will come in full. Another new thing that we have added in the Q disk is single line disclosure. Many a times what happens, we require a footnotes without any headers. So at last of the financial, this type of single line footnotes are being displayed. So that option has also now been added, that you can add it over here, and that will look somewhat similar to at last of the financial. It will somewhat look like this. Now let us come to the R disk. In R disk, we have added one new feature in terms of ratios. In ratio sheet, what happens, all 11 ratios by standard were displaying. Now in case in any of your entity, if out of this 11 ratios, if 5-6 ratios are only applicable, other ratios are not applicable. So if you do not want to display blank ratios, so you can select option from here. So if you select display blank ratio, if you want to display blank ratio, you can select yes. If you do not want to display blank ratio, you can select no. In terms of ITR 6, we have now integrated this tool with SmartX as well as with ClearText. So now you will be able to export data from this tool to the SmartX Excel utility or a ClearText Excel utility. Then that Excel utility, Excel template then can be imported into the respective software. In analytics sheet, this also now can be exported into Excel. There is a button given that Excel export. So these are all the new features that we have added. Beside that also there are many small other features that we have added in the tool that will you get to know once you start using this version. Thank you very much for watching this video. Do subscribe to our channel for regular update on our automation tool.